Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. My name is Isolde Trachtenberg, and I'm really happy to welcome you to the Creative Kind. My process today is a continuation of last night's or yesterday's episode, which is, by the way, before I go any further, the reason I'm a little kerfuffled is because this is an unscripted, unedited, raw, real show, and you're getting it straight channeled from the universe through me to you. So there will be times when my brain goes, and I have to allow the rest of myself to catch up with it. So, yesterday I was discussing how to figure out and set your long term, mid-term, and short term goals. And a lot of that has to do with self assessment in the moment. You have to assess what your goals are, what you want, and how you're going to approach getting what you want as part of establishing those goals. Yesterday, I focused on yoga. And the reason for that was if you didn't listen to the episode, let's say your long term goal is I want to be balanced, strong, and flexible for the rest of my life, into my 90s, right? I want to feel vibrant and strong and like I can do what I want to do. That's a great goal. The other part of it, though, is that you can't just go, I'm going to be balanced, strong, and flexible into my 90s. You have to go, okay, how do I achieve that? And then you have to assess it for yourself. There is a workbook on the show notes page at isoldet.com/creativekind where you can download the notebook and start figuring out that long, midterm, and short-term goal set for you. Now, as part of doing this, you have to maintain an evaluative stance, a mindful stance about whether or not you are, in effect, working towards that goal, whatever it might be, in the moment. In the book Being Peace, Thich Nhat Hanh talked a lot about being present and being aware of what you're doing and honoring what you're doing while you're doing it. So washing the dishes becomes a sacred task if you are in the present moment of doing it. I want to take it a little bit further than that and say, okay, mindfulness is phenomenal. Being aware of what you're doing is great. But there's another aspect to this that we need to think about, and that is checking in with yourself about whether or not what you are spending your time and energy on is what you want to be spending your time and energy on. If you do, great, you're set. If you don't, then you have to evaluate, okay, what could I be doing differently? How can I change things so that I am indeed following that long-term goal set? It can be to have a more relaxed life. It can be to have a more balanced, strong, and flexible life. It can be to write books. It can be to get a new job. It can be to switch careers. It can be to start a family. The goals, again, are less important than the process of working through towards those goals. One of the things that I believe in a lot is checking in with yourself, as I said yesterday, about whether or not you are doing what you want to be doing. So you need to do that. You need to check in. And checking in is not easy because it means, again, knowing where you are and figuring out whether or not you want to be where you are. I started a while ago this group called the Creative Entrepreneur Group. It's designed to help people who are specifically working on their goals creatively and in an entrepreneurial way to set up and succeed in their creative businesses. As part of our weekly meetings, I introduced this idea of checking in. Everybody goes around and they spend just 5 minutes checking in about where they are and what they have worked through and worked on since the last meeting and how they've achieved or not achieved what's going on, which is really helpful because it allows you the opportunity to really assess for yourself. Am I doing what I want to be doing? And then you get to dedicate yourself to that idea of doing what you want to be doing. It's not easy sometimes because you have to, again, know yourself a little bit better, and you need to start thinking about those processes. What do I need to be doing in order for this to work? And that check-in, that where am I right now, is really important. As part of this long-term, mid-term, and short-term goal process, it's the same kind of thing. when you're doing something, it doesn't matter what. You could be watching TV, reading a book, walking the dog, playing a video game, washing the dishes. It doesn't matter. You need to check in with yourself and go, okay, where am I right now? And am I doing something that furthers me towards this goal of X, whatever the goal is? And if you decide that no, it's not, but that's okay, great. If you decide, no, it's not, and I want to do something about that, then you can. And that's the whole point. This is not about judging yourself. Right now, all I want you to do for the next week, when you think of it, no matter what you're doing, once you've gotten that long-term, midterm, and short-term goals set down for yourself with the worksheet that I'm providing, check in with yourself periodically. It doesn't have to be often. Just check in and go, am I doing something that's furthering me towards a short-term, midterm, or long-term version of my goal? Again, if you aren't and you decide that's okay, great. Just note that for yourself. And if you are, that's great too. Note that too. Just become aware of how often you are following that process of achievement and how often you're not. Because the more aware you are of where your time and energy are going and flowing, the more you're going to be able to reorient, to shift where you are into where you want to be. I want you to start there, and then we're going to go even further in tomorrow's episode. This is Isolde Trachtenberg. I hope you're enjoying The Creative Kind. And if you are, tag someone who needs to be learning about this stuff, because I'm going to keep on going until I have everyone where they want to be, which is living your creative life. Until tomorrow, I send you my love.